You've been told your whole life, don't put all your eggs in one basket. It sounds wise, doesn't it? Safe, responsible, mature. But here's the secret. Nobody ever told you diversification is not a wealth strategy. It's a survival strategy. It was never designed to make you rich. It was designed to keep you comfortable and compliant. Diversification is a word invented to make the poor feel intelligent while staying ordinary. Think about it. When you don't know what you're doing, you diversify. When you do know what you're doing, you concentrate. Billionaires don't diversify across everything. They concentrate intelligently. They pick a field, a business, a technology, a direction, and they dominate it until it bends around them. The middle class diversifies because they fear losing. The rich concentrate because they fear not winning enough. And that single mindset difference creates an entire economic class divide. The myth of diversification was sold to you by the same financial industry that profits when you stay average. Banks and funds make money from your caution. They can't charge management fees on people who take control. So they created a philosophy that rewards indecision. Spread your risk, they say. But what they mean is, spread your power. When you spread your money too thin, you spread your attention too. And divided attention never compounds. The wealthy understand that focus compounds faster than capital, because focus multiplies learning, and learning multiplies leverage. Diversification slows both. That's why billionaires aren't portfolio thinkers, they're system builders. They don't want 10 small bets. They want one asymmetric bet that rewrites the game. If you're already feeling your beliefs challenged, pause right now and follow rich logic. Because what you're hearing here isn't motivational fluff, it's the kind of truth the financial system hides behind slogans. Let's go deeper. Diversification became gospel in the 1950s, when mutual funds needed marketing. Wall Street realized the average investor didn't want to learn, they wanted to feel safe. So instead of selling education, they sold diversification, the illusion of control through variety. They told you to hold 50 stocks, 10 sectors, 5 funds, and in doing so, you guaranteed average returns forever. Diversification isn't a strategy, it's a sedative. It numbs you from responsibility. It keeps you asleep inside the system. The rich don't think that way. They know that wealth only compounds when risk is aligned, not diluted. They diversify later, after they've already won. Because diversification is what you do after mastery, not before it. First you focus, then you fortify. They build empires in one lane, then hedge the empire, not the idea. Think of Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, all high-risk ventures concentrated around a single thesis. The future of humanity depends on energy, transportation, and consciousness. That's not diversification, that's intelligent concentration, or Warren Buffett. He owns dozens of companies now, but 80% of his net worth still sits in a handful of names. He tells the public to diversify because they lack discipline. He tells himself to focus because he understands probability. The poor diversify emotionally. They buy a little of everything to avoid confronting their ignorance. The rich concentrate mathematically. They analyze the asymmetry between risk and reward. They don't gamble. They engineer exposure. That's the secret of intelligent concentration. It's not putting all your eggs in one basket. It's knowing your basket better than anyone else alive. Diversification works only for those who don't understand what they own. It's an admission of confusion disguised as strategy. If you truly know your game, you don't need 50 plays, you need 5 perfect ones. That's how Amazon, Apple, and Google were built. They weren't diversified startups, they were obsessions. And those obsessions restructured entire industries. If this is hitting you hard, take a second and like this video, because these are the conversations that shift your financial DNA. Here's the truth, the world rewards risk concentration, not risk avoidance. Look at every major fortune in history. It didn't come from balance, it came from imbalance. When everyone else spread their bets, the builders went all in on insight. Rockefeller on oil, Carnegie on steel, Zuckerberg on code, Bezos on logistics, Buffett on valuation. Each of them took a position that looked stupid, until it became inevitable. Diversification protects you from small losses. Concentration exposes you to massive wins. And here's the paradox. The more you fear losing, the less you can ever gain. Because true risk isn't in concentration, it's in ignorance. The problem isn't betting big, it's betting blind. That's why billionaires don't avoid volatility. They design around it. They build ecosystems that can fail internally without dying externally. They diversify within their vision, not away from it. For example, when Apple bets on a new chip or product, it's still within its ecosystem. That's focused risk, not scattered fear. That's the secret no financial advisor will ever tell you. Focus creates fortress. If you've been told your whole life to diversify, it's because the system needs predictable people. Diversified people are easier to manage. They move slowly, stay compliant, and never create disruptions. Focused people build things that change rules. The system doesn't fear your failure, it fears your focus. Let's talk psychology. Diversification soothes anxiety, concentration builds resilience. The more you tolerate uncertainty, the more reward you can capture. The rich have trained their nervous systems to stay calm under concentrated exposure. That's why they appear fearless. It's not lack of fear, it's capacity for it. The poor diversify because they can't stomach seeing volatility. They crave the illusion of safety, but safety is just slow death in a volatile world. If this message is starting to make sense, pause right now and subscribe to Rich Logic. Because this channel exists to reprogram how you see risk, reward, and wealth itself. Let's dig even deeper. Diversification doesn't just dilute returns, it dilutes responsibility. When you hold 50 assets, you can blame the market. When you hold 5, you have to understand everyone. And accountability is the fertilizer of intelligence. The rich become smarter because their mistakes hurt more. They feel consequence, and consequence breeds clarity. Diversified people rarely learn deeply because their errors are small and scattered. Concentrated people evolve faster because they learn from magnitude. The modern economy hides behind the word stability. But stability is an illusion. Every major institution, banks, governments, corporations, survives through concentration of power, not diversification of it. They teach you to spread your money while they consolidate theirs. They tell you to diversify your assets while they buy your attention, your data, your energy. They know fragmented people can't resist centralized systems. Here's another truth. Diversification is not protection, it's permission. Permission to stop thinking, permission to stop studying, permission to believe safety is possible in an unpredictable world. The rich don't look for permission, they look for edges, because edges are where evolution happens. And evolution always pays in exponential returns. But intelligent concentration doesn't mean recklessness, it means mastery before expansion. Billionaires build empires like a sniper, not a scattergun. They spend years targeting one line of fire, and when the shot lands, the world calls it luck. Luck is just the residue of obsession. That's why the world keeps calling billionaires lucky. It's easier than admitting they trained their focus longer than others could tolerate boredom. So the next time someone says, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket," ask them this: how well do you even know your basket? Because the truth is, most people don't even have eggs, just excuses. The rich don't fear the basket breaking, they build the basket strong enough to carry nations. Diversification feels safe because everyone around you believes in it. But consensus is rarely where greatness hides. The crowd survives. The focused few create civilizations. You can stay diversified and invisible, or concentrated and unforgettable, but not both. If this message challenged how you think, take a second right now. Like this video and subscribe to Rich Logic, because here we don't recycle safe advice. We decode the logic that billionaires actually live by. They don't chase balance. They chase asymmetry. They don't seek safety. They seek sovereignty. And they understand the truth that changes everything. Diversification protects mediocrity, but focus builds empires.